Hello everybody, this is Ben85. Welcome back to another episode of FS19 Ultra Realism. This tractor pulls. I love working with it. Unfortunately, we got two full gravity boxes here and a combine full, and I need to empty them out. But since we're talking about Ultra Realism, I started thinking about it. Back at the farm, we do have storage for our crops. But if you think about it, it's like a magic storage, right? You can dump all the same stuff into the same spot, and somehow it all gets stored in the same bins, and it all comes out in the same bins. That's not realistic. So, I have a solution for it. We just need some money to do it. That's what it's going to come down to, and I got to figure out where we're going to do it, because we need some space. So, for the time being, we're going to have to sell any of the crops that we harvest. And I also think we should empty out everything that's in those bins that we already have. So I'm heading off to sell these oats to the place that has the most, or the highest dollar amount per 1,000 units. It's right about 1,500 per 1,000 units. So we've got what, 48,000, so half of that's 24, so you get about 72, so maybe about $71,000 between these two bins, I would say. Which, if you think about it, is pretty darn awesome. Don't go that way, you will get stuck. And I decided to take the duals off the front because I can turn a little sharper. I don't need quite so much power and flotation, so I think this is the best of both worlds. I'm still running the duals so that I don't get stuck in the fields anywhere, especially when I'm pulling, two grain bins here, or two gravity boxes. Oop, oop, oop. I'm not used to the turning ability of these things. Alright, so we should be able to, yep, dump into there. I said 70, 71, 72. So that's going to be about 35.5 on one gravity box. But in case you're wondering, and this is what I have to plan for, we gotta go purchase. What I have here is right here. These bins. They come with a script on them, so they can only have one crop in it at a time, but you can put all these crops into it. You have to load from the top, and you have to empty from here. So there's no magic involved, as far as I'm concerned. It's going to be very much like it is in real life. So I think that'll be a fun little experiment that we're going to mess around with. And I say experiment because I haven't tried it yet. But in theory, it should work. It's worked for a lot of people. So we're going to hope for the best. But like I said, I gotta figure out where to put the bins, because they're gonna take up some space and we need some maneuverability. Yep, so I said 35.5. That's pretty close. But on the plus side here, the bins are 55,000 a piece. We're gonna need about 20,000 in support vehicles, because we're gonna need a big auger to get the crops up to the top of the bins. It shouldn't change a whole lot. We just got to make sure that we can move stuff around. So I'll let this guy empty out. I'll have to go back. And if I look at the rest of my crops that are harvestable, which is going to be up here. So we got two fields here, here. So what do we got? We've got wheat fields, a barley field, wheat field, barley, and one more oat field here. Okay. At this point, it doesn't really matter. And I think we're only going to set up bins for probably it's going to be corn, soy, and canola, because those are the big three that I usually plant. And then we'll probably have a fourth bin for some sort of cereal crop, probably. probably run 4 bins. We'll see. But we need 3 for sure to begin with if we want to store. So 3 bins is going to be 55, 110, 165 plus the support. So we're going to need about $200,000. And we might get close to that, especially if we empty out the bin or the stuff that we already have. So I'm going to finish up taking this oat field off, and then probably if I have some time, which I probably won't, try to empty out some of the bins that we do have at home, so that we're basically starting with nothing in that storage. We're not going to use that storage anymore. We have to build our own. That's the goal here. Today is a bin day. Apparently, we gotta figure out where we're gonna put them. So, we finish harvesting a little bit here, make some money, and we'll see where we end up. So, it seems I have found a bit of a bug. If you run into things with your tractor, like say a utility pole, power pole, and you're pulling these wagons, the front wheels on your lead wagon, they break. As such. And then it pulls really horribly. And doesn't pull straight, and it does all sorts of weird things. And the only way to fix it is to save your game, log out, and then log back in. Very, very interesting little bug there. And doing this doesn't change anything. It's still, and you can see it shows that the spindles are no longer attached properly. So you can see these are attached properly. Tie rods are ahead as such. On this one, this has been pushed back. The tie rods are no longer in place. It's probably just a model issue. I didn't even look to see that. Is there a 760 version? Is there a bigger? No, we should probably go wagons, right? And then trailers. There she is. So we have the 680. Condition, painting. No, I guess you can't do more than a 680. I thought maybe you could. Alright, never mind then. Thought it said 690 for a moment there. So, as you can tell, we've got ourselves a decent amount of cash. Very decent amount. All of the cereal crops have been harvested. And all of them have been sold as well. And I actually got things done faster than I expected. Of course, it probably helps that the rain did not show up. In fact, it's out of the forecast now. If I go here, you can see it was supposed to rain today, later today. Or no, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday was supposed to rain. It isn't anymore. Rain's now a little ways off into midsummer. Looks like there's a few rainy days in a row. And I'm not sure where we're gonna put the bins in yet. I have honestly no idea. There isn't a lot of decent like flat land. I did think about putting them in right here. This is the most or the largest amount of decent like flat land right here. That's right off the farm, so it'd be usable. And honestly, this short little bit here is not going to affect how much of the field is actually there. Might actually make things a little easier. But of course, we have corn on here. So we can't do anything with that yet. We would probably look at chopping some of this off. That way we can better utilize that space, not waste the crops. So at this point, bins are out of the option, or out of the bins are not an option at the moment, but then again, we don't need them yet because the corn's not there yet. Although, the canola that we have planted here, I guess that's the only 3 fields of canola that we got, are getting close. They may be harvestable pretty soon. So we're gonna have to find a way of managing that. We'll find out in 2 days because it's almost midsummer. So I guess we're just gonna have to unload these hay bales and wait a little bit and see what transpires. See if I remember how to do this. Apparently I'm not parked close enough. Well, it turns out we are in a little bit of a pickle here. The canola is most definitely ready to be harvested. So we got this field next to us, and then the field right behind those trees over there. We have to take it off. There's no other way around it. And we just don't have... We got 2 days here to work with, and then we got rain coming in for 3 days. We're gonna have to take it off. And that corn is not gonna be ready to harvest. It's too young to chop right now. You look here. It's not even in the dark green stage yet, which is what we need it to be in before we can start chopping. So we can't put the bins up, and I don't want to destroy that stuff. So our best option is going to be to find another option. And I think I have another option. It's going to take a little bit of setup and a little bit of hoping things work out. Having them follow along here. 39%. We'll probably have to empty... probably somewhere right about here. So while he's continuing along, let's look at stuff here. So we have now an ag bagger here, is what we're going to utilize. That's the unloader. And that's the filling item. We're not going to need this yet, but we are going to need this, and we are going to need possibly a couple bags. Well, there's 200,000 units. I guess we're not going to use that much. Oh, yeah. Looks pretty good. It's about what they should be. So we're going to have to buy this. And then I think we're going to buy 2 bags right now. And I'll explain how this all works. Unfortunately, I can't actually demonstrate. Oh, we need something else too. So we go under trailers. I want to get this trailer here. Actually, let's do the wide tires, just so we don't sink down into nowhere land. If we go in the garage, this guy can be sold. We're not going to use the little one. And then what's the other thing that we need? We'll go front loaders. We need a pallet fork. That's what we need. Alright, we'll leave that behind. Yes, I know the bale fork's laying on the floor. It's not ideal, but it's what I have to deal with. This is why I'm really glad we have a second tractor here. Because I can do things at once, basically. And, oh, would you look at that? The manure is piling back up again. I'm hoping I set things properly over here. They should be sitting over in this area if everything went well. Otherwise, they're going to be at the Yep. I was worried they were going to be at the shop. But they are not at the shop. And you'd think I would be able to pick up those bags, hopefully. Let's find out. So I think one of them can go into the bagger right away. Then we can just drag it around like that, I'm hoping. Let's find out. Oh, oh, there is a... There we go. I think you just come up to here. I don't feel like we're getting anywhere with that, although that kind of looks like the back side of the pipe. So maybe we should come around this way. I think we can drive through here. There's just 2 rocks we have to worry about. Not a big deal, right? It says unload here. Oh, we're at 80%. Do we have to get out and, like, do this? I'm not sure at the moment. But this guy needs to get to the oh, the combine's way down there. Oof. Alright, we gotta get down there in a hurry so we can unload it. And then I gotta figure out, I forget how to do that. It was a little bit since I downloaded that mod. I may have to check on things and see if we can get that to load up. Hopefully the manual detach is not going to be a problem. But you never know. Sometimes mod interactions don't work out for the best. But we've got 2 wagons here, so we've got some time to try to work out what the best method of doing this is going to be. I'm just going to let him unload here for now. Let's just look in here and see if it explains it. No, it doesn't tell us anything. So there's gonna be some sort of a rule or a method or something for... Something changes down there. What changes? Control I doesn't seem to do anything. Not exactly sure what I did for a moment there. Ooh. Uh-oh. I locked this guy up. Yep, I broke it. I broke the game. Yeah, I broke it. Alright, hold on guys. Alright, well, I broke the game pretty good. I had to go back. Obviously, Combine's still running over there. It's going to be coming back, so I haven't dumped into the gravity box yet. Just what we're going to have to deal with. I figure out where I want to put this. I tried it with manual detach off, and I found where the detachment was, and then I turned it back on and determined that... Why does it just park it like right here? No. It was just the fact that you have to be very specific on where you're backing into it. There's only one side of the bag that works, and you have to be lined up really close, otherwise it will not do as intended. So let's put it right about there. So we're going to try this out right away. We're going to hopefully not touch anything that'll break any parts of the game. I went back in and I go to try to hire this worker, and he just started running stuff over. Turns out, because I went from having manual detach or attach out as a mod and then putting the mod back in, it detaches all of my hoses and all of my PTO shafts. So he tried to start harvesting, he just didn't have the ability to harvest because technically it wasn't hooked up. So, not a big deal, easily fixable. Trying to remember if I can sync. Oh shoot, I did sync cruise control. There we go. So I bought the bagger and I bought the bag. I did not buy the pallet forks again. I did not buy the second bag, and I did not buy the trailer yet, because I wanted to make sure things worked before we purchase anything else, because every time I break the game it reverts and then I have to buy everything again. So we're just going to try with what we have here and see what happens, okay? Our dump point's going to be on the left side here. And I'd really like this to work because I want to use this for silage as well, because this bagger is supposed to work for silage. And there's a lot of farms that use baggers for silage, so it's actually very realistic. Not a lot of them use it for this part though. So ideally, if we come over here and line her up, I should be able to dump into there with my wagon. Aha! And the bag is growing. See that? So it is storing it in the bag, and then we have the item that will unload, and we can use that to then unload and move our crop wherever we want. Awesome. Alright, so it works. Well, crisis averted. We'll just have a bag full of canola here. And the cool part is once you empty it out, you can reuse the bag. So you can put the bag on the bagger and use it again. You don't have to keep buying bags. So that's going to be the plan here. We're going to get ourselves some canola harvested up here and see how big that bag gets. Hopefully it doesn't make it all the way to the edge there and then I have to get another bag. But we can only hope for the best. Well, it looks like about a day and a half is what it took to get all these fields done. I guess it's only 3 fields, but there's quite a bit of canola that we took off. I don't know why I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. This is interesting. I'm going to keep a watch for this. This field is cotton, and I didn't think with the seasons version that I have, like, what do you want to call it, the location file, which then sets like winter, summer, all the temperatures, precipitation, stuff like that. I didn't think it allowed for cotton to be grown. Oh, don't run into it. But if it does, I would be curious about growing cotton, because it's something I haven't really... I mean, we played around with it the first time it came out, way back in Season 1. But I feel like that would be an interesting thing to do in this world. So I'm gonna watch that, let the computer player see if they get it harvestable. See what happens. Well, looks like our bag's not gonna make it to the end, which I didn't think it would. I'll show you guys how much is in there in just a bit. We should be able to disconnect from the bag and take everything back now. I need to get the yellow tractor, our little tractor, back, so I'm not even going to worry about this yet. Because we got to feed the animals. Okay, so let's see how much is in there. We've got almost 140,000 units. That's awesome. So we got 140, and if you look at the price right now for canola, that's canola right there. It's 1,300, so we get a little bit more than 140,000. But if you go to the, you see here, we need to feed them. Go to here and we go to canola. It's low. It can get up to 2,000. So that'd be $280,000 basically in there, which is what we want to go to. That's the point of being able to store it, so we can sell it when we need to. So we should be able to come up here, hit detach. There you go. So now the bagger leaves the bag behind. It's all safe to go. We can do that with silage, which is what we're going to start doing. We're going to utilize that heavily for silage, I think. We're not going to use the bunker silos anymore, just for ease of use. That's going to be our best bet. And now that we know this thing works, I think that'll be pretty cool. The only downside is I think it converts everything immediately, so we're gonna have to impose, like, okay, we made this bag at this time, we're gonna have to wait this amount of time before we can use it. Not a big deal. But I'm excited that we're using this. This is something I wished was in the game a long time ago. Like I said, the mods, it only allowed for bagging up the grains, which we just did, honestly. But I wanted to be able to bag up silage, and this thing should allow it. And our awesome liquid manure spreader is walking. I actually watched it. It walks out on its own, whether it's empty or full, it doesn't matter. I want to put this in here for now, or at least right here. Oh, not hold it. There we go. This guy, how much do we have in here? Only got 80,000. We're using up like 10 to 12,000 every time we do it, so there's only probably 6 more guys full. So I mean, it's running out quick. We're gonna have to get some silage here pretty quick. We might do some haylage. I gotta check on that field over there. Let's do that quick actually. We'll enable grass. We're looking for this field right here. Okay, so growth is low. So we'll have to wait and see, but we'll just have to see what comes first. Because I think this grass I'm gonna end up chopping. And then we're gonna be chopping some of the corn here. So we're probably gonna end up taking off. We're gonna chop probably that much of this field. We'll see how much we have, and then we'll go up here. The biggest thing we're looking at for how much silage we have is this right here. I figure half of that's gonna have to be silage. So we're gonna need at least 200,000 units, so that's one bag full. Didn't realize I shut that off. So yeah, one bag full is gonna be necessary at least. So if we put silage into one bag and then, or haylage into one bag and then fill up one with silage, I think we'll be fine. And if we did run low, we could always do some first crop hay as silage and not do as many bales, because I mean we've got a lot of hay bales in there. Got a lot of straw bales too. Basically, we're really good on a whole lot of feed items. But I gotta wrap this episode up. We're getting a little long. Basically, it's gonna come down to next episode. We're gonna have to make some room, whether we have the ability to take the corn off. If we do, then we'll take that off and then we can put the bins up. If we don't, we're gonna have to take or make sure that we have silage for the animals one way or another. We're gonna have to find a way to make it work. Even if we have to, I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll see. But that's for another episode. So thank you guys all for watching. And until next time, right there, as always, take it easy. Need another straw bale here.